All right, welcome back to How to Write a Literary Analysis Essay using these handy dandy graphic organizers. To catch you up, we've looked at the outline organizer, we've written our thesis, we've done the evidence worksheets for all three body paragraphs. We've written our introduction, and now we are going to write our first body paragraph. So this is going to be body paragraph number 1. I'm just going to make a note of that to myself. And I chose to organize my body paragraphs chronologically. So this is going to be about like the beginning of the story. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of like refresh myself. I'm going to go look back at my evidence for this body paragraph. So I have "Don't walk barehead in the hot sun" and "Is it true that you sing Bennett in Sunday school?" And I said that I was talking about syntax for both of these. One of them is like an imperative sentence, like a command, right? And the second one is an interrogative sentence, which is like it's a question. And then I talked a little bit about what they reveal. This is going to come in handy to me as I write this paragraph. So my topic sentence, oh, you know what? I'm going to use my Tika Tika materials as I go here. So I'm going to have this in front of me for reference, my beautiful color-coded Tika Tika paper. Love it, love it. I'm going to use the same colors to color code it here just to like, I don't know. I love color coding things. It makes it easier for my brain to process stuff. So yeah, I've got my first color for the T there, my pink. I've got my second color, my yellow, for my introducing my evidence. Then I've got my third color, green, for quoting and citing that evidence. I have my fourth color for analyzing my evidence. Gonna go back to my pink for T, for transition to your second piece of evidence. Back to my yellow for introducing that second piece of evidence. Back to my green for quoting and citing my second piece of evidence. Back to my blue for analyzing that second piece of evidence. And then I've got my beautiful little purple. Come here, purple, where'd you go? I've got my purple for my concluding sentence where I'm gonna like just wrap up the paragraph, right? Okay, so this is the beginning. And my thesis says, I'm gonna look back to what I wrote in the end of my intro. My whole thing that I'm proving with this essay as a whole says, taken as a whole, Kincaid's story, written in one long complex sentence, explores these gender roles and ultimately reveals that it is because of their own fears remembered from childhood that mothers perpetuate restrictive gender roles by passing them down to their daughters. So that's my big claim, right? As a reminder, a thesis is an umbrella. It covers your whole essay. That is what you are trying to prove with your essay as a whole. So when I write my topic sentence here, that's going to be like my little smaller claim that is specific to this paragraph. It's specific to what this paragraph is about, which is in this case is like the beginning of the story. And it's going to like support back to that thesis as a whole in some way. So the beginning at the story's outset, a mix of imperative and interrogative sentences from the mother to her daughter begin to, or establish the mother's hopes for how her daughter will behave and her fears about what will happen if her daughter does not. So that's my topic sentence. Okay, I'm going to introduce my evidence. Okay, so I'm looking back at like my evidence here so I can see it in context. Don't walk barehead in the hot sun. Early on in the story, the mother commands her daughter don't walk barehead in the hot sun. And then I'm going to do a parenthetical citation here at the end, Kincaid, 320, author's last name, page number, period. Okay, let me look back to what I wrote on the back of my little evidence organizer here to help me. I said, here the narrator, the mother is directly telling her daughter what to do, or in this case, not to do. She's issuing a command, a direct order. Okay, so here, the mother is directly instructing her daughter by speaking in the imperative, telling her what to do, or in this case, what not to do. What did I say about what this reveals? So again, I'm talking about syntax here. I'm not using the word syntax explicitly, but like when I'm talking about the sentence type, that's all part of syntax. Where did my little page go? I said that throughout the whole story, the mother is really concerned with telling her daughter what to do because she wants to teach her daughter how to conform with gender norms and expectations in order to be seen as a good woman. Okay. Hmm, this reveals the mother's preoccupation with teaching her daughter how to conform to the norms and expectations for her gender. Supposed good girls, the reader can infer, do not go about in public with their heads exposed to the sun, and therefore neither should the narrator's daughter. Oof, I'm gonna run out of room here because I write a lot, but that's okay. And therefore neither should the narrator's daughter. Now that was me analyzing my evidence. So now I'm going to work to transition to my second piece of evidence, which is how I'm talking about. This is how to sew on a button. Okay. As the story. Oh no, that's not my next piece of evidence. Oh, my next one is it true that you sing Benna in Sunday school? Right there. Okay. As the story progresses, the mother interrupts her own series of commands by switching into the interrogative, asking her daughter, is it true that you sing Benna in Sunday school? We're gonna hit it with our parenthetical citation here, Kincaid 320 again. This question, I'm going to look back to what I was writing about this piece of evidence. I talked about how, the mother's worried by things she's heard about her daughter's behavior because she's worried that her daughter might not be living up to these expectations, right? Okay, so this question suggests that word has reached the mother's ears that her daughter is perhaps falling short of the expectations for her gender, daring to sing inappropriate music in what should be a sacred space. The mother wishes in all her fear and anxiety to confirm this worrisome rumor for herself, which in turn exposes I'm going to erase, okay, wishes in all her, I'm going to go in all her anxiety. The mother wishes in all her anxiety to confirm this worrisome rumor for herself, which in turn exposes the fear that she feels with regard to with regard to how her daughter may be treated if she fails to appropriately perform girlhood in the expected manner. Okay, so that was me analyzing my second piece of evidence. I'm going to wrap up with my concluding sentence here, where I explain again in different words how the evidence I just presented proves my claim. I'm going to connect it back to my thesis. My thesis, as a reminder, says blah, 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 reveals that it is because of their own fears remembered from childhood that mothers perpetuate restrictive gender roles by passing them down to their daughters. Okay. Even though it is not fair for the mother to interrogate her daughter. I'm going to write on the side here because I ran out of space. In this manner, while giving her little chance to defend herself, it becomes clear as the story progresses that it is her own old fears and conditioning that push the mother to treat her daughter so harshly. Okay, boom, we've got a first body paragraph. So just to look back over it, let's color code it as we go. Topic sentence. At the story's outset, a mix of imperative and interrogative sentences from the mother to her daughter establish the mother's hopes for how her daughter will behave and her fears about what will happen if her daughter does not. Now we're looking at introducing that first piece of evidence. Early on in the story, the mother commands her daughter. Now we've got that first quote. Don't walk barehead in the hot sun, Kincaid 320. We're going to analyze that first quote. Here, the mother is directly instructing her daughter by speaking in the imperative, telling her what to do, or in this case, what not to do. This reveals the mother's preoccupation with teaching her daughter how to conform to the norms and expectations for her gender. Supposed good girls, the readers can infer, do not go about in public with their heads exposed to the sun, and therefore neither should the narrator's daughter. We've got our transition to the second piece of evidence. It's just as simple as the story progresses, we're going to introduce that second piece of evidence. The mother interrupts her own series of commands by switching into the interrogative, asking her daughter, is it true that you sing Benna in Sunday school? Don't forget our citation there. This question suggests that word has reached the mother's ears that her daughter is perhaps falling short of the expectations for her gender, daring to sing inappropriate music in what should be a sacred space. The mother wishes in all her anxiety to confirm this worrisome rumor for herself, which in turn exposes the fear that she feels with regard to how her daughter may be treated if she, oops, I missed a word there, if she fails to appropriately perform girlhood in the expected manner. And then We've got our purple for our last sentence here, our concluding sentence. Even though it is not fair for the mother to interrogate her daughter in this manner while giving her little chance to defend herself, it becomes clear as the story progresses that it is her own old fears and conditioning that push the narrator to treat her daughter so harshly. You don't have to color code yours. I just did that so you can kind of see, you know, Tika Tika in action here. But yeah, boom, we've got a body paragraph. And then, of course, you would repeat that process for your second and third body paragraphs. Yay, 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 yay.